What's up, everybody? Tech Chucker here, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Captain America Mandroid Wave Baron Zemo. Now, this figure is cool. I like this figure. Just aesthetically, it looks great. The paint, the accessories, they just really did a great job. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. All right, let's take a look at the articulation on this figure, and it's pretty well what we've seen before, so nothing too outlandish. He can look up this amount or this much. He can look down really good. This is really nice. I'm very happy with that. And he can look side to side, no issues there. And then there's pretty much almost no tilt, which is fine. And in the shoulder, he's got a ball joint in the shoulder, and he can raise it up just a little over his or above his shoulder, which is pretty standard, and full rotation of the shoulder, which is good. Upper bicep swivel works great, and double jointed elbows, but because of the cuff, he can't really bend it all the way. And then there's a peg joint in the wrist, and he can curl his wrist pretty well. Not as well as I would like, but you can see it's not too bad. Moving into the torso, he has, again, the pretty standard hinge articulation here, which is really good. He's able to do a really good ab crunch, and his back arch is actually quite good as well. So I am always pleased with this body mold. Waist swivel, there's no issues there. Nothing's getting in the way. The belt doesn't cause any issues there, so that's great. All right, moving down to the legs. He's got the T-jointed ball joints in his legs, and he can kick forward about this far. You're going to have to force it a little bit with that skirt belt thing, but he can kick forward pretty good, and he can kick back a decent amount, not too bad. Again, there's a little bit of getting in the way there, but he can do the splits about this much, which is about what I believe the Hydra Soldier was able to do. I think most of them are able to do that much for splits. Upper thigh swivel, which works very well because of the paint. There's no issues with continuity there in the paint. Double jointed knees, he can bend pretty much fully in half, which is great. That's much appreciated. And then there is also a upper boot swivel, which actually looks really nice. And then he is able to move his ankles down this much and forward, not as much as I'd like, but not too bad. And there is an ankle rocker, which works very, very well. So overall, the articulation on this figure is really, really good. Because of the body mold that they used, we can certainly come to expect this kind of articulation, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. All right, moving into the sculpt, the sculpt of this figure, they did a really, really good job. I am very pleased with this, especially the head sculpt. They did a great job sculpting this head. You can see he's wearing a full face mask, but those black lines are actually sculpted in. And so there is some depth with that, which is really nice. They did a great job with the eyes and whatever those headpieces are. I'm really happy with this belt. Even though it does cause a little bit of issues, it's great. It can hold his pistol, which he comes with. It's just great. I like these shoulder harnesses that come with it, and I forgot to mention this little skirt piece that's kind of soft. It's not as soft as I'd like, but again, you can see all these pouches that are on the belt. I got to come back to the belt. The belt is really great. So I'm super happy with the overall sculpt of this figure. So even with these kind of flanged out wrist pieces, I'm super happy with that. And the boots, I like these boots on this figure. I think Hasbro just did a really good job with this figure and the sculpt work. The additions that they did to it are very, very well done. All right, moving into the paint work of this figure, and I'm really happy. I'm very pleased with the paint on this figure, and I'm going to start again with the head. They did a great job. I love this purple. The purple looks great. This yellow, goldish that they used. The lines are clean. The eyes, they did a great job. I think they look really well done. It's very cleanly painted. And then that purple goes down into the shoulders and whatnot, but you can see on the back here there is a little bit of bleed of that purple onto the gold, but at least that's on the back and you don't really notice that. So the majority of the figure doesn't have a lot of paint on it, but these shoulder straps, they do. The buckles are painted nicely. You can see the guns. The one issue with the guns is they're actually molded in, but you can see the Z emblem. That's a little bit of missed paint, but it still looks great. It really makes this figure kind of pop. And then the giant belt buckle is also painted. Could have used a little bit of extra paint on the pouches on his belt. That really could have helped this a little bit more. But other than that, the paint work, it was clean, well done. A little bit of shading on some of the yellow parts would have been nice, but overall, I'm super happy with this. All right, let's talk about the accessories that Baron comes with, because they're pretty nice. I really like them. So he comes with this pistol. It looks like kind of like a World War II old school, I forget what it's called, but it's sculpted really, really nicely. See if I can get this to focus in. There we go. Yeah, the detail on this pistol is really good. It just looks great. The paint, there could have been a little bit of extra paint. I mean, they've got some on the handle there. It looks kind of like almost like a cheetah slash, boy, it fits his hand really well. So it looks kind of like a camouflage, which is nice. I wish there would have been a little bit of black wash or something on this, but it looks really good. And then he comes with this broadsword as well, which is also really well done. The sculpt is very, very nice. The details of this sword is really good. The paint isn't really all that great. The blade is nice, but the handle hilt area, there's no paint on it whatsoever. So it kind of looks cheap in that respect, but there is some really, really good positives to this. So I'm really happy with those accessories. And then I kind of also consider this shoulder harness an accessory as well. The pistols, unfortunately, are molded in, so you can't take them off, which is kind of a bummer. But you can take this whole harness off if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to, because it actually looks really cool. But you can see if you pull his arms back, see if I can get that off. And there we go. So this is the little harness. There's not a lot to it, but they did a good job with the detail work on it. You can see the silver painting of the pistols, and then you can see the Z emblem on there as well. So they did a good job with that, and it's easy to put back on. Here you can see if I can get this on, and there we go. Okay, so overall, I'm really pleased with the accessories on this figure. They did a really good job. Okay, so overall, this figure is a definite must-have in your collection. From what I've seen of the previous, I think it's a Toy Biz Baron Zemo, this one is definitely much better. Obviously, it's a different style, which I really like the style of this Baron Zemo. The detail work, the sculpt, the paint, it's all on point. Yeah, there's a few little issues, but when you're in the $20 figure range, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get every single thing that you want out of a figure. But they came really close. Hasbro did a really good job, so I definitely recommend picking this one up. I doubt you're going to find it in stores, so you're going to have to find it on Amazon or eBay. So it's definitely worth the $20 to even $30 price range. All right, so I hope this review was helpful, and stay tuned for more. Make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you later.
Tech Trickers